give my all my strength, all the gas in the tank, straight from work to the bank, poured my soul down the drain.
Welcome back to Beyond the Mats, the podcast where we dive into the lives, stories, and mindsets of fighters and grapplers who dedicate their lives to the art. I'm your host, Ethan Geracia, and today I'm joined by a talented grappler who's been making waves on the mats, Kalo Steely. Kalo has been putting in serious work as a competitor, testing himself at tournaments, and at the same time balancing everything that comes with life beyond the mats. Today we're going to talk about his jiu-jitsu journey, what training and competition looks like for him, and of course, how he carries those lessons in everyday life. Kalo, thanks for being here, man. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good. How are you doing, man?
Not too bad. So I'll kind of just let you introduce yourself, just where you train, how old you are, and kind of where you live and stuff like that.
All right, sounds good. Well, I'm Kalo Steely. A lot of people call me Kalo or Kalo, but it's Kalo. I'm 16. I live in Pierce, South Dakota, and I train out of Oahe Jiu-Jitsu.
Awesome, cool. So let's just start things off kind of simple. How did you find jiu-jitsu?
So it's a really funny story. So when I was about 12 or 13, I was hanging out with my friend, and we were in this kind of like sketchy part of town where he lived, and we were just hanging out. It was wintertime, and this 19-year-old guy comes out and like starts throwing snowballs at us, and then he hits us with like judo throws, and we're like, what the fuck, man? And then afterwards he's like telling me and my buddy like, yeah, you should join judo. So I started doing that, crazy enough. And yeah, I did judo for about a year and a half, and then jiu-jitsu became a thing in Pierre, so I transitioned over to that. And yeah, I've been doing that for the past 2.5, almost 3 years now, I want to say.
Cool. That's crazy. I feel like I've never heard a story like that before to get someone into a martial art.
Yep, and that guy, he's actually running the jiu-jitsu place now, and he's like one of my best friends. He's like 24, I want to say now. Like, it is crazy how it all went down.
So is there like a specific moment when you realized that this was something you really wanted to take seriously or like start training seriously?
I think my first tournament was like about a year and a half into my whole jiu-jitsu career, and then I managed to get double gold in there. I went up in age and then up in weight in 2 different divisions, and like I won both by submission. And that's when I realized, like, damn, like I might be actually kind of talented at this.
How many times have you competed since then?
Man, I've lost count, honestly. I think my smooth comp profile says about 37, 38 wins, 32 by submission, and then like 8, 10 losses maybe. And mind you, I compete in the adult bracket most of the time, because in South Dakota, finding kids like in the 16, 17, age group that are my weight is damn near impossible to get. So
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say that's crazy too, only being 16 and like you said in the adult divisions. It's kind of the same way out here at local tournaments, like in Springs and Denver and
yeah.
Colorado. Like 16-year-olds always have trouble finding matches, but that's awesome. You're willing to make that jump and still, excelling at tournaments and stuff. That's cool.
hmm
So, what does your training environment look like now? Kind of your gym, coaches, teammates, or your routine?
Routine when it comes to training, I like to hit the gym as much as possible, like weightlifting, strength conditioning training. And then actual class is Monday, Wednesday, Friday from about 6:15 to 8. And then also like weekend open mats. It's a lot of like, what's the word? Like scenario work. So we'll work on different like positional sparring, especially.
Yeah. I know what you're kind of talking about. I don't know if you would really call it ecological, but
Yeah.
kind of more like that instead of just like practicing
Yeah,
step by
just
step.
drilling one move, getting to understand like the nitty gritty of like, hey, I need this to make this move work. How can I get there in like an actual scenario?
Yeah. Cool. So let's kind of jump into competition now. So I know you kind of mentioned your first time competing already, but what really motivated you to compete for that first time?
I just decided it was like about time that I should start doing it, because I feel like if I want to get better at this art, I need to compete more. So I figured like this tournament would be like a skill check kind of, because I had done like one or two judo tournaments before and I've done okay, but I wanted to test myself in this new jujitsu thing I was starting to do.
I'm not too familiar with judo, honestly. So how was that kind of transition for you from judo to jujitsu?
Judo is a lot more kind of like Greco-Roman wrestling. Like it's a lot of like upper body throws, but also involves sweeps. So the school I went to kind of gave me a foundation for grappling. Because mind you, like I started out as like a fucking fat kid for a long ass time before I started doing martial arts. So just having that judo base where I learn how to like, they teach you how to fall properly as well. So I'm not getting as injured as much, and I actually know how to do some stand up stuff other than wrestling.
Yeah. A lot of jujitsu guys, if they have like good takedowns or good stand up, they always come from like a wrestling background. But if it's not that, it's always like judo or something. I always hear about
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
So, do you have any favorite moments on the competition mats so far?
First adult blue belt tournament I ever won. It was November of last year in Sioux City. I bleached my hair because I wanted to look like Gordon Ryan. I'd been training my ass off. I mean, I was hitting the gym 3 times a day, 3 days of the week, and then like practicing jujitsu like 5 to 6 days a week. So I was like training my ass off because I wanted to win at the blue belt level, like prove myself that I was actually good. And lo and behold, your boy made it happen.
Cool. So, how do you specifically deal with the nerves or like the pressure of competing? Do you feel a lot of that when you're about to compete?
I used to a lot, but there was a moment in my life where I realized I need to like flip a switch when competition comes. Because mind you, I'm like one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, I think. But in competition, I try to put myself in this mindset that I'm like I am not a nice person here. Like I am going to try to destroy you as quickly and as effectively as possible using all the techniques I've studied and trained in that time.
That's beautifully said. I feel like that's one of the things. I don't know. I feel like I kind of had a hard time making that switch. Like it's something not a lot of people think about because it's like you're used to
Yeah.
training and like protecting your partners, and then you get out on the mat. It's like, you're supposed to like you said, do whatever you can to literally submit that person. And sometimes it's kind of hard to flip that switch and get used to that.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. It's a time thing. I mean, like there was my first tournament, I had a straight foot lock on someone and he was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, that's illegal." But it wasn't. But like there was a temporary moment where I paused and like let the ref resolve it instead of just like trying to break his ankle. But fast forward, I go to Fargo, I'm in the blue belt bracket and I have a guy in a toe hold and I snap his ankle.
So we kind of already talked about what a typical training week looks like, or for you.
Yeah.
But how do you really balance that and like just keeping your body healthy or relaxing and balancing all that with like needing to take the time off?
Yeah, absolutely. I try to get as much sleep as possible. I mean that's the best thing ever is sleep. So many people nowadays are not getting the necessary recovery. So I try to get as much sleep in as possible. And then also I make time to spend with the people I care about, whether it be my family, my friends, or just me studying jujitsu in my room, just relaxing, focusing.
100%. I agree with that too. Sleep is so underrated because I feel like your body heals the most when you're asleep. So a lot of people kind of disregard that, stay up late. So, what do you think, in your opinion, separates people who just train from those who go all in and put themselves in the competition?
It's a different mindset. Like I started off as just a person who showed up every day trying to get better, and it was a real struggle to get to that point where I am at now. But now I just have this mindset of like domination and like I know what to do now. So my dad, it's me and him really. We go around the country competing. Like I've gone to ADCC Dallas, I've gone to Vegas competing, and it's just going to all these places trying to find challenges. And if I lose, fuck it, it's whatever. It's learning. I mean, I'm going against the best people possible.
Yeah, that right there, I feel like is exactly like what separates the people who don't train and the people who compete. That mindset, like of being able to take a loss and take it as a lesson instead of, oh, it's the end of the world. Everyone loses at some point. That's really awesome to hear you travel a country and compete at all those places. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate, very grateful for my father. I mean, he's been my biggest supporter. I mean, yeah, both my parents have been a huge help to me. They've always supported me, helped pay for my classes, got me to where I need to go to be the best. And then my dad also helps me run the YouTube channel for our school where we, post all the fights, matches that I have.
Cool. What's that YouTube channel so people can check it out for you if they want?
It's just Oahe Jiu-Jitsu, OAHE Jiu-Jitsu.
I'll throw that in the description too in case people want to check that out. Well, jumping into the next question here, do you have any specific routines, habits, or practices that keep you sharp?
Just drilling moves that I'm able to hit at tournaments over and over and just practicing situations. So I know how to do triangle. That's probably the move I'm the best at. But I'm really good at knowing what to do from that triangle, like transition to an arm bar or a Kimura. So just learning how to use a position in many, many different ways over and over again.
Kind of becoming a master of that position.
Exactly.
So let's kind of jump into life beyond the mats for a second here. Outside of jujitsu, what does life kind of look like for you right now?
Well, right now I'm a junior in high school, so I have that most of the day. Um, I'm also a manager at Burger King, so and they've been great for my whole career. They're very flexible with the schedule, so always grateful to have them. And the free food is nice. So
I used to work at McDonald's when I was in high school too, and the free food is definitely underrated. Just being able to take home whatever you want.
absolutely.
Do you find yourself applying lessons from BJJ into your everyday life?
Oh, 100%. I mean, jujitsu is all about like controlling yourself and like not hurting people, but like knowing when to be tough. So like if someone is trying to like, piss me off, rage bait me, I kind of know like, man, I could beat this person up, but I'm not going to because it's just not worth my time.
100%. I feel like that doesn't change once you get older too, because you're going to be going to like the bars and stuff too, and there's still going to be those same guys that just try to like, rage bait you or stuff and just kind
Yeah,
of,
exactly.
yeah, that never changes, I feel like. That's crazy though. So you're still a junior and you're going through kind of a tough time, starting to think about college and stuff. How do you stay grounded and kind of balanced with all these demands, especially while keeping up with the intense training?
Honestly, I just do my best to have fun with my life. Like I try my best not to worry about too much at all. Like obviously I'm not like a burnout that's not going to do anything, but it feels like people a lot of the time focus on things that like aren't in their control. So I've studied a lot of philosophy stuff about worrying about what's in your control 100%. And once I started doing that, life just became so much more fun. So, I do the stuff I need to do, but then I go hang out with my friends and have fun, stay out late and go to bed.
Yeah, that I agree with that too. Kind of only, doing what you can control, and so many people kind of I don't know exactly the word for it, but kind of like over worry or kind of stress themselves out about
Yeah.
stuff that they can't control or that's beyond their control. But at the end of the day, kind of just knowing that you put in that hard work and that you've kind of given it your best and that's all you can do, I feel like that gives
Mm,
you a good peace of mind. So let's kind of jump into this will be the last segment I have for you here. Just kind of some quick questions.
yeah, gotcha.
I know you kind of said triangle already, but other than that, kind of what's your favorite submission? Maybe not your best or most successful, but your personal favorite.
Personal favorite. Well, personal favorite in the training room is probably toe hold because I just love doing it to all the white belts, freaks them out, and it's just funny to get on the kids. Or go plata is always silly to get.
Do you have one specific training partner that's maybe the toughest or your favorite that you've rolled with?
So there's two I want to highlight. So there's one, he's a white belt. He's late 30s, I want to say, but he used to wrestle in high school, so he has a really good base for grappling. Like he's explosive and strong, but he don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to shit on him or anything, but like I'm more skilled in jujitsu. But it's like I have to like really test my skills because I can't outstrength them at all. So I have to be like smart with what I do.
Yeah, kind of training with. I feel like because I only competed at like 150, 145, 140, kind of
Yeah,
that range. So kind of everyone that I trained with was always bigger than me, and I could never really just use strength to outmuscle people. So I always kind
yeah.
of had to do that too.
Other person I want to highlight was it's this guy. His name's Garrett, and he's the one that used to coach me and the guy that beat me up long time ago in jujitsu. He see, I want to say he's in his 30. He might be like 27, 28. And yeah, that guy, his style of jujitsu is so technical. Like he used to be a wrestler, but he never used his wrestling. It was more about just like a slow creep, like a crushing pressure on you, and then like he'd get a straight jacket on me, and it would just be like an inevitability I'd get choked out.
Yeah.
So his jujitsu taught me that I need to be careful at all times because I could have him in a really good position, but one slip up of me not having enough pressure and I'm just fucked. He just rapes me after that.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like once you get to like the higher blue or like even like purple belt, that you got to really
Hmm.
be careful of that too, because like people like really become good at just like baiting you and like making you think you have something until like that last second where you're like, oh shit, I'm fucked, and you don't even know it until it's too late.
Yeah.
I just thought of one question I wanted to ask you, by the way, since you were still a junior in high school. Are you doing any wrestling in high school, or is it just 100% jujitsu?
Yeah. So seventh grade was about the time I started doing judo, and then that winter I started my wrestling. So I've only been wrestling for what, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th. So 4 years going into my fifth year this winter. I'll do I'll do jujitsu all year round, but come like mid-November, I'll I'll cut it out because wrestling is just like too much. Like it can be hell sometimes. So I kind of like separate it. I'll get my conditioning, my mental fortitude from wrestling, and then carry as much as I can over to jujitsu the rest of the year.
Awesome. That's cool to hear too, because I was wondering about that, how you would do wrestling or if you were just all in on jujitsu, but I feel like that's definitely a really good path to go down, just like you said, still doing wrestling and taking jujitsu off and doing that year round, but that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I know there's a lot of big events for jiu-jitsu coming up. Like they have the UFC, BJJ now, and then they got CJI now, and ADCC is still big, obviously. But do you have like a dream event or matchup that you would love to compete in?
I think it would be cool to end up on the Craig Jones Invitational. I mean, just seeing, I mean, I know technically the second one wasn't as entertaining, but still the stage they were on and just like the whole team dynamic. Like if I could fill up a spot on someone's team, I think that would be just be so cool. And then be given the opportunity to compete against so many different people at that highest level. I think it would be awesome.
I agree with that. I still think it would be cool. Like you said, the second one, not as entertaining, but they only really have the first one to compare that to. The sequel is never better than the first one. I feel like the hype that people were expecting was just way too high, and it
Yeah.
was still a good event. And Craig Jones is going to come back and put something else great on. So
Hmm.
if you weren't training jujitsu right now, what do you think you would be doing with your life, or kind of what path do you think you would be taking?
If I'm being honest, I mean, I already mentioned I was like kind of a chunky kid. I mean, I still am, but I mean, I'm a little bit more buff. I was not on a good path at all. I mean, I was lazy. I didn't do any sports. Like I'm not a football player, no soccer, no baseball. So I think without jujitsu, judo, wrestling, I'd be on such a different path than I am now. Like I would be so just unconfident, and I just wouldn't like who I was. I mean, jujitsu has given me an opportunity to like show that I can do something, be someone special, and I am just so grateful that I was able to get into it when I did.
That makes me happy hearing that too, because I kind of felt the same way when I started, just kind of I was kind of alone and didn't really fit in with anyone, and then kind of just walked into a gym for that first time, and it was like you instantly find like a family who actually like cares
Exactly.
about you, and it's like it's just an awesome thing to have, and like you said, it kind of changes you and brings out a different side of you.
Yeah. I mean, like they'll always be for you. I mean, they'll kill you in the room, but some of those people, like I'll trust them with some of my darkest secrets just because they're good people, you know.
Yeah, 100%. Like anything they do is just trying to make you better.
100%.
Well, that was the last question I had for you. It's been awesome having you on and hearing your story. Do you have any last words you would like to say, shout outs, or just anything? I'll give you a second.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. I really appreciate it. Words of advice I'd give, just if you're in jujitsu, like if you're like me, just starting out, and just stick with it. I mean, even if it feels like you're getting your ass kicked, that's part of the process. I mean, it took me year and a half, damn near 2 years before I realized like, hey, maybe I am kind of good at this. So even if it feels like you're just getting your shit rocked every day, keep going. Just keep showing up because that's all it is sometimes. I mean, sometimes you'll hear the purple belts, like you ask them for advice and they'll just be like, "Yep, just keep coming." And I didn't understand that at first, but it makes so much sense to me now. Just the time and the effort, put that in and it will pay off in dividends. I mean,
I agree with that too. Just keep showing up. I hear that a lot also. It's honestly so true. And it's just like, because my first, like, I don't know, 3, 4 months of training, you just get beat up and it's like, you don't even know what the heck's going on, these dudes are doing like magic on you, it feels like, and you just want to quit
yeah,
so bad and just stop showing up, but one day it just eventually clicks and you're like, oh, so that's how that works, and then you just keep showing up, and it starts
yep,
clicking and clicking.
100%. I like to shout out my coach, Dylan Christie. Always grateful. My other coach, Garrett Viscara. My dad, Jeremiah Steely. My mom, Alicia Lucan. My friends, Sam, Paige, Jalen, Wyatt, Brody. Always grateful for you guys. I know you'll be listening to this at some point, so thank you. Appreciate it all.
You got any competitions that people should be keeping an eye out for, that you're training for, or anything like that coming up?
Nothing like out of the state. I have a tournament September 20th. That's usually a good one. I've been going to it. Found some really good competition there. October 4th, I'm competing in a super fight. It's for this organization called Subversion out of Sioux City, Iowa. So I'm looking forward to that. That's like the main thing I'm training for right now. Super excited for that.
That's crazy. That's on my birthday too, so I'll be keeping an eye out. I'll remember that way.
Hell yeah.
Sweet. For everyone listening, make sure you keep an eye out for Kalo Steely. Support him along his jujitsu journey. I'll drop your Instagram in the show description too, so people know where to follow you at. And sweet, man. It's been awesome having you on.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, brother. Love the show. I think it's great what you're doing. There's so many athletes out here that aren't as big as like the UFC or CJI guys, but their stories matter too, you know, the little guys. So I appreciate what you're doing.
That's been my whole kind of focus behind this too, is kind of bringing highlights to those, amateurs or just jujitsu guys in general that, deserve that love, and kind of showing people that, we're all kind of normal people too in our own way, and everyone's got their own story.
Yep, absolutely beautiful.
Thank you again, man. That is it for this week's episode of Beyond the Mats. Thank you for tuning in, and if you've made it this far, show some love by dropping a follow or a review and following the show on Instagram at Beyond the Mats. We got some big things coming and some awesome guests planned, so you guys stay tuned. and we'll see you next week beyond the mats.
With the past, I never regret it. Yeah, I did it for myself, I ain't searching for credit. Said I couldn't do it, they probably shouldn't have said it. Times changed what it was, yeah, you can forget it.